Jade and Brown were two minors just trying to enjoy the Easter holiday by attending a party, and shooting erupted at the party. This is where they ended up losing their lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today on East Drama, we're going to be taking a look at what the motive was for this crime and how things went down, what was going on. Taking a look through the tarot as well as through an EVP session.
Are there spirit guides present? Are the guardian angels of these two minors present to let us know their frame of mind and the frame of reference for what happened over the Easter holiday weekend?
Xbox. Scanning. FM. Xbox. Xbox. Scanning. FM.
Why did this shooting occur?
For me. 1097. American Song Contest. 2022. That's what.
So from what I gathered so far, somebody thought they were a cowboy. I heard the word cowboys. No other reason, no other rationale. Someone was in the restroom too long. What was this?
Okay. Romans chapter 6. Let's do it again.
What about the frame of mind that the two minors were in?
Xbox. Scanning. FM.
Is there any spirit who can come through and let me know how the two minors were feeling, what frame of mind they were in? Was one feeling like they had to earn some type of respect? Was one fired? Were they just trying to party and have a good time? Release stress.
Round down on stretch.
Sweaty rock with the least of these. When you do.
Okay, so
Xbox.
the Xbox
Scanning.
clicked
FM.
off. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time to see what comes into play with a tarot reading here. So there was no hate towards anyone at the party. That's what I'm gathering. And this still occurred. So this was someone irritated that someone was possibly in the restroom, or someone who just wanted to be into this cowboy role. Living in some sort of identity, perhaps going through a phase, perhaps wanting to live dangerously and do dangerous things. This is coming in as someone who is down for whatever. Maybe their morality could be called into question a little bit. Someone who stands out or places a big emphasis on something going on socially. And so that's the energy behind whoever was doing the shooting. Any more energy coming in with this person who was shooting? Someone who feels like their life is at a standstill as well. That's what's coming in. So that's the energy behind what was going on, as far as the question of, was there any animosity going on? Within the EVP session on the spirit box, cowboys came in. So someone has this cowboy frame of reference. Someone really was hell-bent on just demonstrating cowboy energy. Something about the restroom, maybe something got torn up or readjusted, or someone was in there. Something very, some people would look at as petty, and some people would feel like, okay, it just blew up. Something having to do with the restroom at the B&B. So let's look at the young people who lost their lives when they were just trying to have a good time at this party. Let's start with Matthew Steffi Ross, who did his guardian angel or spirit guide. If anyone bring in their energy or their memory of anyone who crossed over before him to comfort him in his final moments. It's coming in as a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo person. And for Jaden Brown, who did his guardian angel or spirit guide, bring in during his final moments, as far as energy related, coming in to comfort him, to ease him over into this transmutation of the afterlife. It's coming in as a Virgo person. my condolences to people who are going to miss these individuals. What was something important to Matthew Steffi Ross coming in as important is just judgmental words, judgmental beliefs about him as a person that seem to cause irritation just on a daily or just in general. Anytime people were judgmental, it was something that is coming in as something he couldn't really stand, because who really knows you, right? From the inside out, everybody is working towards trying to become better as opposed to worse in life. What was important to Jaden Brown? What's coming in as something important that was important to him? Just a little bit about what's coming in for them, how they were feeling emotionally and mentally, just hanging in there, just doing the best that he could, being resilient no matter what was going on with him or around him, with family, friends, or even enemies who wanted to be some kind of way. That's what I'm getting here. What is something that Matthew Steffi Ross would say that he learned in his lifetime about when things were desperate for certain people, just knowing that times were hard out here in the streets, and it was good to be able to, that's what I'm getting, this feeling of him saying it was good to be able to take time out, that it's not coming in as something that doesn't need to be done. Yes, horrible things occur, but this is about trying to find the positives, the carefree vibe of life, as opposed to the poverty that's out here, the stress, the really hard, difficult, challenging times that are weighing on people out here. When it comes to Jaden Brown, something that he would say that he learned within his lifetime is just about being able to deal with emotional turmoil, stress as well, and being able to kind of relax and let down your guard a little bit sometimes, you know, be it at a party or whatnot. So they were familiar with the stresses of life. You know, they had had a taste of it or seen other people go through stuff, and they wanted to, you know, chill out, have a bit of some fun. And so that's what's coming in as being important, being able to not focus so much on the hard times, or just call them for what they were, but not dwell on them. That's what I'm getting. What is something else that Matthew Steffi Ross was placed in a position to learn while living? Just about life occurring fast. I'm getting some type of approximate news, you know, being able to deal with the news coming in, you know, because I feel like there was something that was kind of tragic that he had heard about before, and just seeing that things do happen quickly, you know, a lot of times in life. And so this is about timing. Something about timing is coming in as something he was placed in a position to learn. How how time may not really seem to exist. Let me see if I can get some more clarity on it when it comes to, you know, how people view certain things. Like they say, some cultures, at least one culture, is not, you know, pressed for time. But this is about emotions, dealing with emotions, not trying to put emotions off when there's something that you want to work through or that you need to work through, just for your relationships or for comprehension of things that you're bombarded with in life in general. Okay, so that's what's coming in. Make of it what you will. When it comes to Jaden Brown, what is something that he was placed by the divine in the position of comprehending? It's coming in as just how much appeal he actually seems like he was having. So people were attracted to him. They did view him as being someone who was pretty successful. Now, if in dealing with stuff or something about his life, you know, they kind of put him, some of his peers kind of put him on a pedestal. That's what I'm getting here. There was also some flirtation coming in for him. That's what's coming in, as something he was placed in a position to learn, just to get some clarity with all of his peers, the people looking up to him, coming in around him. That's the vibe. Just put in this position to demonstrate the key aspects of his personality, which were being kind of like strict in a way, or just being able to put his foot down. And this is a lot of discipline here. So that's probably what they looked up to him for as well, or just something about discipline that was going to, despite whether or not people saw him as just successful for some other reason or what have you, just implementing discipline within his life and being able to benefit from it. So there was something about discipline that he was placed in a position to learn about. What can we learn as outsiders looking in to the life and passing of Matthew Steffi Ross? Okay, this is it's all about swords here. And being able to, you know, try to protect someone, you know, from hearing the worst. That's what I'm seeing here. Let me see if I can get some clarity, because this is with the Page of Swords. Okay, and it's coming in with someone who is sociable, and just, you know, letting them know that what can happen, I guess, just so that they're more prepared, because it's a risk that you take coming together with other people who may be having some psychological torturous energy that they're dealing with.
Xbox.
And the Xbox is trying to come back in.
Xbox. Scanning. Xbox.
Just chewing on this information that's coming in. I'm bringing the EVP box back in for a second.
Experiences and is written.
I heard experiences trying to take you out. So knowing that there are people out here who, for various reasons, may want to take a person out. People who, despite the general vibe of enjoyment at a party, maybe you wanting to come around and try to, you know, take you out. That's what came in through the EVP here. This spirit box, just breaking things down a little bit more. And with the Page of Swords, it's about just reminding people to be extra smart and insightful. You know, even though you may want to kind of enjoy things on the social front, just knowing in the back of your mind the things that sometimes go wrong. So yeah, it's about being smart and insightful and reading between the lines to discover the heart of whatever is beyond your own heart, your own feelings, your own mood. Just being perceptive as you can, or just momentarily, you know, trying to pick up the vibes so that you know, or that you can feel before you really just, and it can happen at any time, but that's what's coming in with the Page of Swords. Just reminding yourself that you are wise beyond your years. And just remaining wise, even during social get-togethers and whatnot. You still have to keep your guard up. It's not a perfect world. So that's what's coming in for something we can learn with him. When it comes to Jaden Brown, taking a look at his life and death, what we can learn as outsiders. Peering in, looking in with this example of what has happened here. About completing things. This could be something having to do with not, you know, putting things off. Let's tune in and see what comes in as far as with the spirit box here.
Xbox. Scanning. FM.
Completion of what?
00.
Anything that's on the express that needs to be completed, not putting it off, not procrastinating. So being about your business, that's coming in as something that we can learn. Came in with the EVP. Any clarifiers here? Just nurturing yourself, continuing to nurture others as you see fit, because it can make or break, you know, how someone is acting if they feel more nurtured. And of course, you're not going to be able to nurture people who you don't really know necessarily, who you're just passing, or you're in a position to get to know at a party. It's just about feeling people out a little bit. Because if someone needs their ego stroked and they want to be cowboys, you know, different people coming in with that energy, you know, that's just something that they have going on, something that is important to be perceptive about. Let's see, with this cowboy energy coming in, is there a way to deal with that type of energy, maybe before it gets out of hand. Okay, so this is about the shadow self. So going to parties, just realize that people are there sometimes with their shadow self energy, you know, because everybody's not going to be in the same mindset, the mind frame that is just to have a decent time. And the advice, you know, again, is just knowing that life is so imperfect. There's so much stress going on, and there's so many egos out here to really deal with. So if you want to meet people, or you want to, you know, have a good time, and then you are concerned about all this, you know, realize, yeah, there's going to be disagreement no matter where, no matter if it's like a closed party or new people coming in. So there's always going to be something to disagree about. Always going to be something that could cause commotion. And whether it's someone who just wants to be a cowboy, like what came in with this EVP here today, or something else, you know, what's coming in with just, you know, knowing that there is a time for being relatively closed off, and then just knowing that some people you aren't going to be able to reach because they are closed off. You know, there's a time to be closed off, and then there are some people who you cannot reach because they're in a closed off phase. And it's interesting because they still, whoever this was shooting, be it multiple people or just one, this person had a closed off vibe. So there was really not much that was going to be able to get this person out of their head this particular moment. And so, yeah, just love and nurture people, you know, who you care about, period. No caps, because you never know. That's what's coming in here. Again, you know, this was a really off the charts thing to occur to these young people. And, you know, my heart goes out to everyone who experienced this traumatic event over the weekend, and leaving out of the weekend, going into the week. So hopefully this offers a little bit of insight as to what on earth happened, you know, for this to go down like this. And yeah, that's what's coming in according to the tarot.